Love is in the air. Not if you're online dating. How we doing, guys? It is a pleasure to be finally back and record another episode for you. And today, I've got a treat for you. This is a follow-up to a very successful and popular episode I did last year, sorry, which was online dating horror stories. So I thought, as I've got a lot of people saying, do a follow-up, Ryan, do a follow-up. There we go. Here we go. You're finally getting your follow-up. This is part two of online dating horror stories because there's just so many. There's so many. And it's some of them are great. I've read some of them I haven't. So what I did was I reached out to my audience and Instagram, Facebook, and obviously got people to email in the stories of their dating horror stories, and some of them are brilliant. I love them. I was in stitches reading some of them. So I'm going to keep all names anonymous because, yeah, the stories are a bit risque, but I hope you enjoy it. So, I mean, online dating. What's it all about? This is a new, it's not a new thing, but it's now become a predominant part of dating culture now. You know, I mean, I've done the online dating. I have done. I'm not scared to admit it because before, back in the day, about 10 years ago, you mentioned that you're dating online. You're like, ooh, he's a fucking weirdo. What the fuck's the matter with you? Can you not meet anyone in real life? Now it's completely different. It's so much easier to meet people now. And so many apps. You know, you've got Bumble, you've got Tinder, you've got Hinge, you've got Match.com. I don't know if OK Cupid's still got it. Plenty of Fish. Plenty of Fish is a shit show, by the way. I tried that. Holy Jesus. That is literally, you're if you're on Plenty of Fish and you're listening to this, you're scraping the barrel, guys. You're better than that. You're better than that. But I've recently went back into the online dating scene. I was going to say dabble my, looking at dipped my toe in. I've not really dipped my toe in. I've literally fucking swan dived into it. You know, I've been single for about just over a year now, and I've decided to jump back in the online stuff. So I can relate to a couple of these stories you're going to hear because I've had a few. I might even give you a heads up of a couple of stories that I've got from my online dating experience, sort of thing. So I've got them. I know. We'll see how we feel. I see how I feel. See how I get on with this. I might just kind of, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. So, guys, here we go. Online dating horror stories, part two. Buckle up, turn me up, and prepare to laugh. Because here we go. So this first one we've got, it's it's from obviously it's from anonymous. So I'll just read it out. I goes, I don't really have a horror story since I've gotten about one day off of Tinder, which went all right. But I've been rejected plenty. Don't we, haven't we all, buddy? Haven't we all? The highlight of which was this girl who seemed pretty interesting and was reasonably attractive, so I swiped right. And it turned out that we matched. Hey, good lad. So I sent her a message. I hope you did. This is the thing. Who sends the message first? Is this like dating etiquette? If you swipe right and you're the one that matches, do you message first or do the other person? I don't know. I don't know. Something clever along the lines of, hey, a match. Did we just become best friends? Oh, no. Oh, no. That's not good. Though I can't take credit for that one. I did steal that from Step Brothers. Yeah, guys, guys and girls, don't, if you're going to come out with the first one liner, I've always thought about doing just be yourself. But there's one thing that I always do. That's a little clever thing that I tend to do. I first started doing online dating before, and I used this one line a couple of years ago, and it was like straight away. You match, message straight off the bat. You're not seem too keen. All these people that think, "Oh, I'm not going to message them straight away because I look too cool. I want to be kind of step back a little bit more reserved, so I'm not too desperate and all that." Fuck it. Get involved. Message them straight away. Message them straight away. So my message that I used to say was, "Who who would you rather fight? 100, 100 horse? Was it 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?" That's it. I used to send that. Got the conversation going, but I've tended to go away from that. The one thing that I do look at now, there's a little tip for you guys that make sure that get the person interested. Now you look at the profile, you look at it, and you see what they're interested in. If they're any good at what they're doing, they'll their profile's filled out. They'll put what they like and what they don't like and all that sort of stuff. Say you're chatting to like a blonde girl who's wearing a red dress in one of her pictures, who likes 90s music, like going out and I don't know, kayaking or something. So you mentioned this is what I do. This was very successful. So my first message was, do you know what? I was talking to a mate the other day there, and I really wanted to meet a girl who likes kayaking, into 90s music, and likes going out, but also looks absolutely stunning wearing a red dress. What are the chances? Boom! There you go. Use that. It's cheesy as fuck, but it works, guys. So there you go. There's a little bit of a insight for you. Don't use the cheesy chat up lines. It's like, oh, did you just fall from heaven? You can fuck off, mate. You know what I mean? So where were we? So yeah, you got that one from Step Brothers, obviously. Happily, she responded rather promptly, so I was eager to read what she sent, because for the most part, for women, just kind of ignore me. Anyway, I opened it up, and all it said was, I swiped the wrong way. Oh, we've all done it. We've all forgotten. I know I've been guilty of doing it, to be fair, guys. You swiped the wrong way, but I tell you what, you don't say that. You don't say that to someone. Sorry, I swiped the wrong way. God, that's a that is literally. I feel sorry for this guy, to be quite honest with you. I feel sorry for him. I want to find out who if you're listening to this, who are you? Reach out. I'll take you for a beer. We'll go out, get some women or something like that. Next one. This was back when Tinder first came out. It wasn't quite as known as a hookup app. It is a hookup app nowadays. Anyone sits there and says, "Oh, Tinder's not a hookup app," it fucking is. Many times I've fucking been told it's not, and it is. It is. We met and had a great first date. Second date was even better. Things kept going for about 2 months when she told me she went out with me originally in an attempt for a dinner with schmucks type of thing, where her and all her friends would bring the worst Tinder date. Holy shit. We both really liked each other, but I couldn't get over how we started. Imagine that. That's brilliant. That is absolute. That's fucking. Actually, no, it's fucking horrible. Absolutely horrible. Imagine that you rock up and this girl picks you because you're like the worst date or the ugly guy or the ugly girl, for instance. That's fucking horrible. I can't believe there's people out there that actually do that. Fuck them. I tell you what, you should fucking dump her ass. Tell her to fuck off. Don't care if you like her. She's a dick. So there you go. Fucking people are fucking assholes online. This is the thing about the online stuff is like you can mask behind a keyboard or a phone and pretend to be someone that you're not, and you can just basically play with the other person's feelings, sort of thing. You know, like ghosting and all that sort of stuff. You get loads of people ghost. I've been ghosted plenty times. You know, I mean, recently I went out for a few dates and all that sort of stuff. Girl was on bloody online on I think it was Hinge, I think the app was, and I was on there. Went out for a few dates, absolutely great. Started to really like the girl, and then when it was like third date, you know, the third date, she's like, "Yeah, I just don't think I'm up for dating," and I'm just like, "Oh, okay." After the third date, so I take you out and do all this, treat you nicely. Then you decide to realize, nah, it's not for me. But then you realize, then you sit and think to yourself, yeah, she probably is up for dating, but she's just not up for dating me. So yeah, have to have a thick skin with this dating stuff nowadays, don't we? Fuck's sake. But I had a couple of dates with this girl that I met on Tinder and learned that she was really into the rockabilly scene. Rockabilly scene, what is that? Is that some sort of American thing? I found out that a local nightclub was hosting a rockabilly themed night, so I took her. That's a good idea. She was dressed to the nines, and we were having a great time in the club. Suddenly, this guy accidentally tipped a drink in her 50s style dress. Oh, so it's going to be like an old school, like kind of 50s style. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that sort of stuff. The guy apologized profusely. She storms over to grab her coat and bag. On the way out, she just punches the guy in the face. Everyone in the club was shocked. I took her outside and told her she couldn't react like that. And that's when she took her heel off and hit me square in the face for siding with the guy. Blood everywhere. I never answered her calls after that. Oh, I had something at the bottom. Oh, and she used to be a stripper and cam girl. This adds nothing to the story, but I just like telling people. Oh, mate, can you imagine that? Getting twatted in the face with a heel. God, that's going to hurt. That is going to hurt. Jesus, he probably got worse off from the guy who actually spilt the drink, to be honest. I mean, it's an accident. You don't just spark the guy out just for spilling a drink, unless he was being a bit of an asshole, but I doubt it. These things happen. You got to take that into account when you go out on a night out. You're going to get drink spilt on you. It's just a given, unless you're just like, stay away from me, 2 foot distance away from me, and you've got a white dress or a white shirt on. because anything white just attracts fucking crap. Stained and all that sort of stuff. But oh, Jesus Christ, a high heel to the face. Oh, buddy, that's painful, man. That's a nose, bro. That's a disfigurement right there. Good story, though. I like that one, to be quite honest with you. Here we go. Met a girl at work at like a moment's notice. She was a waitress, and there was literally nobody else in the entire place. Okay. We talked for a few hours. Then another dude showed up to meet her from Tinder. She would later blog about the experience and described me as dull and unattractive. She apologized to me the day she posted it. No hard feelings. I just thought it was a crazy story. What the fuck? What is it with these women and basically like kind of doing stuff like that? That's fucking horrendous. I'm going to blog about my dating experience. See, these are the sort of girls that are fucking just fucking no, they're just dicks. They're just horrible people trying to get a name in themselves. You know, how did you become famous? Well, I blogged about my shit dates that I used to have. What a wanker. She has no respect for actually other people's feelings. That infuriates me, that really pisses me off because these guys are probably out there genuine, you know, trying to find the one or someone to fall in love with. I know it's fucking hard on dating apps, but it is possible. This fucking prick is fucking sitting there just telling that she's going to blog about me and then literally calling him unattractive and dull. What a prick. I want to find this girl and tell her that she's a wanker. If you listen to this about this story, tell me who this girl is. Even if it's in America, we'll go out there and we'll just basically do the same. And I'll do a podcast about just her and how much of an ass that she is. God, I'm so petty, ain't I? Oh, I'm getting wound up with these women treating guys like shit. But saying that, guys do treat women like shit, no doubt about that. It's just people treating other people like shit. Here we go. Not a horror story, but here's how the conversation goes. Oh, here we go. It's a text one. Girl, Charmanders are red, Squirtles are blue. If you can catch me, I'll be your Pikachu. It's a Pokemon reference. Love that. Then me, I'll I'll squirtle all over your face. Conversation ends. That's fucking fantastic. I love that. Oh no, Jesus Christ! What did you get out? You had to go for it. You had to go for it. It's fantastic. The ones that are the texting when you first start messaging each other via text. I mean, I'm a shit messenger. I'm a shit text. I'm better talking, as you can imagine. You know, I don't fucking shut up. But I'm better doing the talking. But there's one time you try and get a gist of who the person is and what they're all about via the messaging and all that sort of stuff. And I once started chatting to this girl, stunning girl, like, you know. I looked a little bit out of my league, but hey, I'm going to give it a go anyway. Got to shoot your shot, guys, you know. So I started chatting to her, and there was no like kind of response. It was like, how'd your weekend? Yeah, good. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, what did you get up to? Not much. And there was no response to keep the conversation going. And then after a while, I got fucking wound up. I went, this ain't going anywhere. This ain't for me. And I was like, how was your day? Yeah, good. Again. And I just went, well, I've been in hospital all day. And she went, oh, why? And I went, I've hurt my back carrying this fucking conversation. She unblocked me. She blocked me, unmatched me. Fucking idiot. But yeah, that's what we do. You got to play the game, innit? Got to play the game. So the thing is, though, a lot, especially girls on these kind of online platforms now, have literally they've realised that there's a lot of dicks out there. I mean, I've chatted to a few girls, and they've had just friends as well, mostly, and they're just like, it's like a fucking minefield for girls out there. Because the thing is, it's like all these guys are just looking for the leg over. You know, they're just looking to treat people like shit, and it's a shame. It's a damn shame because these sort of apps could be used for something good. And I think originally that's what they're used for. Then realised that the way that people are going and the way society's going, they just want quick hookups and all that sort of stuff. So all these like kind of like Tinders, maybe not so much Hinge or Bumble, but definitely Tinder is more of a hookup app now, you know. And it's a shame because people are out there do actually genuinely want to find someone and settle down with someone. Some people don't. But a couple of the girls are always saying when they talk to guys, it's like the first thing they try and get your number straight away. And then it's like 20 and like missed FaceTime calls and all that sort of stuff. Or it's, oh, how are you? Yeah, I'm doing well. By the way, here's my dick. And the dick pic comes. You know what I mean? You're like, wow, what the fuck? You know, at least buy me dinner first. It's like, why, guys, why do you do that? Why do you send a picture of your Johnson to women? I'm not going to lie to you. As a guy, the Johnson is not the nicest looking thing a part of a man's body. Let's put it fucking wrongly, right? Apart from it's not. It's not. Why would you send that to a woman thinking that's going to get me lucky? It ain't going to work, mate. You know what I mean? It ain't going to work. Jesus Christ. Some people. Some people. I had a guy over at my place for the night, and he had a relatively okay time. Besides the fact that he pissed the bed and all over me during the night. I thought I had been sweating through the night until I realised what had happened. When I asked him if he had pissed the bed or not, he didn't even act surprised. All he said was, "Oh, fuck." We had to strip the bed and wash it all, but I had to throw out my expensive mattress topper. I found out later, though, mutuals, that I was not the first offence, and it happened twice before that they knew of. Oh, this guy's a serial peed bedder. Oh my God. That's fucking rank. Imagine that waking up in a pool of someone's piss. Actually, that's a story I can tell. Actually, I've had that before. Tell you what, here we go. Here's one for you. There's one for. I don't know if I should say this story, but fuck it, why not? Um, I met that back in the day. This is how old was I? I'm pushing 20. I'm 39 now, 40 next month. But this is when I was about 25, and this is the infancy of the online stuff. Facebook was just coming about, it just appeared. That's how long ago this was. There was no dating apps or anything like that, but there was one thing, I don't know if you guys could remember, something called Hot or Not. And this is one that you basically what it is like, am I hot? Yes or no? And it's sort of like what Tinder is, sort of thing, Then you say, oh yeah, he's hot, and you match. You can message each other. But this is before smartphones, so I'm using this little kind of fucking Ericsson phone, the Walkman phone, one of them, fucking tiny screen, and you can hardly see it. So when the pictures were there, they were really grainy. You didn't know they weren't like 4K, 1080p, 4K fucking quality pictures. They were really shit. So this girl was all right. Angela, her name was. She's listening to this. Sorry, but so we started chatting, and I was over in where was I living there? I was over in Swindon at the time, which is in the UK. If you guys know, it's north, south, east, west side of the UK, outside of London, about an hour, 2 hours away from London. And she lived in Southend, and Southend's over the opposite side of the country, over by the coast. Lovely pier. Well, it's not a lovely pier, but it's an all right pier. But yeah, she was over there. So we started chatting, and she was like, "Can I come and meet you? We should meet up." And I was like, "Okay, what do you want to do?" And I was expecting to meet halfway in London or something like that. But she goes, "I'll come to Swindon." I was like, "Okay, fair enough. Get in there. Let's go for this." So she goes, "My bus is coming." And when the time comes, goes, "I'm going to get a bus in the next hour." And I'm like, "Fucking bus? Who the fuck gets a bus from one end of the country to the other? You get a train. You've got a good rail network. Why don't you get a train?" But no, a bus. So that was a big red flag for me, because it's so much easier and cheaper to get a bus, or a lot better, but to get a train. So she got a bus. I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go down to Swindon and the bus station. And she was there. She was all right, nice girl, all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't say that the pictures did her justice. They were okay. There was a little bit of discrepancies. I was like, okay, I'll let it go. Let's see how it goes. So straight away we went to a bar. And we just got pissed. We had a few drinks or that. All of a sudden, a few mates rocked up, and they were like shouting across, "Oh, yeah." And I was like, for fuck's sake. So I ended up going back. So I went back to mine. And as soon as we all jumped on like a cab, all over me, literally all over me. And I'm just like, all right, she was pissed up straight. I was so drunk. And I'm like, all right, we can back off a minute. You know what I mean? I've only just met you about fucking 4 hours ago. Back it up. So the plan of action was, it was one of my mates' birthdays in Swindon again that night. So we're going to go out, have a few drinks or that sort of stuff. But she was pissed already. I was like, Jesus Christ. So we got back. I got showered, changed. She did the same. And then we jumped in a cab, got ourselves into Swindon. And by that time, she was carrying on drinking. She got a bottle of wine from the shop on the way back and started drinking that. That was gone before we even left. So she's ploughed into a lot of alcohol at this point in time. And yeah, so you can imagine where this is going. So we went out, had a few drinks, like, everything went well. So she was staggering. She was staggering a bit. And this is only like something like 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is going to be an early one, this. Actually, no, it was probably about 9 o'clock, I should say. So we tried to get in this club. She didn't get in because she was too pissed. I got in, and I had a choice to make at that point. I had a choice to make. You know what I mean? Do I just leave her, or and go into the club, or do I go with her? And I was like, I can't leave her because she's not from here. I couldn't do that. So my mates all went in, and we just basically went back home, back to mine, and yeah, we got back, and as I say, push comes to shove, had a few drinks, nature takes its course, we kind of bumped uglies, and so we falls asleep. Now I wake up in the middle of the night, same story as what we just heard, and I'm just like, what the fuck? It's a bit fucking wet. She fucking pissed the bed, didn't she? She fucking pissed the bed. And I was at that point, because I was only young, I was only a single bed that I had. I know I didn't even have a double bed. So it was very close to each other. So it was literally like, what the fuck? She peed the bed. She peed the bed and all over me as well. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ. And this girl was have to stay with me for the next day as well. She wasn't going home the next day. She was going the day after that, so the Sunday. She came over on Friday. We still had Saturday to do, and she was going home Sunday morning. So on the Friday night, she peed all over me, not in a good way. I know some guys are into that sort of stuff, but I'm not, unfortunately. I think fucking rank. So, and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. She's staggering about everywhere. And this is like 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God. So, yeah, so the next morning was very, it was awkward. Let's put it that way. It was a little bit awkward. So, yeah, that's my story about someone peeing. Yeah, she went home on the Sunday, went out for a few drinks after on the Saturday. Um, Obviously, the Saturday night I slept on, didn't sleep with her because I didn't want a fucking another shower again or another bath, just in case. And yeah, that wasn't going anywhere. So yeah, she left on the Sunday, and we kind of, I think that was that, really, to be quite honest with you. So that's the story the story of when I had of a girl pee in the bed. That's fucking awkward. I don't know if I should have shared that on here. Ah, fuck it, why not? It's just what it is, isn't it? Just what it is. So here we go. Let's get back into someone. Let's get into someone else's, please. Um, Here we go. So, oh, this is a long one. Met a guy from OK Cupid for brunch, and while walking to the cafe, he asked me if he could take a photo of my feet, and it claimed it was for a charity project. Really? It's a charity project, is it? He's a feet person. He's a feet person. I don't trust feet people. I am not a fan of feet. I think feet are fucking horrendous. Mine are hobbit feet. I have literally got the widest, longest feet ever. And they're horrible. And it's just, I'm a good swimmer. Don't get me wrong. But I fucking hate feet. They're horrible, especially feet on women. You know, the feet, the toes are all crunched up because they've been wearing all these like kind of pointy shoes and high heels and all that. And they've got the curly toe, the little pinky toes all twisted and minging. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, I can't can't think about it. I was taken aback and politely declined. Good girl. But he grew more and more insistent. I stood my ground and refused to take my shoes off. He started insulting me and said, look inside your heart and ask yourself if you're a good person. Wow, he's really putting the guilt trip on. I was extremely disturbed at this point, but suggested continuing to the cafe and forgetting about what had just happened. I tell you what, right, if that actually, something like that happened to me before the date even started, I'd have been like, nah, laters, see you later, darling. I felt him sulking next to me as we walked, until finally I couldn't take it anymore and demanded we settle the issue. Things escalated into a shouting match. He said was being nice and accommodating when I asked to have brunch instead of a picnic at the Botanic Gardens like he originally suggested. Called me an ungrateful bitch and that thanks to you, my day is ruined. I shot back, yeah, well, my day is ruined too. All this because you couldn't take a picture of her feet. Fucking hell, this guy's a fucking lunatic. I was done with a non date and turned around and headed back to the station. After a while, I heard him running and shouting behind me, but I ignored him and kept on walking. His footsteps grew louder, and he suddenly shoved me roughly from behind and blocked my path. I started to say, I don't know how your parents raised you. You're dragged up, not brought up, mate. He cut me off and shouted at me for not bringing parents into it. He said, "Can you see yourself now? Do you know how ugly you look?" Fucking hell. You look like you're going to cry. I was sick and tired of this shit. Deleted our WhatsApp chat, his number in front of him, made him delete the chat and my number, and told him I never wanted to see him or hear from him again. God, this is borderline like, you're gonna get chopped up into pieces. That's serial killer shit. I hadn't eaten or drank anything that day and was feeling faint. I shot panicked glances at the private houses, hoping that someone would be drawn to the commotion and come to my aid. But I was disappointed that the few people I saw standing in the driveway or at their window quietly retreated into their homes. I thought of making a desperate dash for freedom, but I was scared he would overpower me. So I pleaded with him to let me go. Eventually, he stepped aside and I brushed past him and walked past really fast without looking back. When I reached to the station, I ran into the nearest cubicle and sat there shaking for half an hour. This happened years ago and hands down was the worst experience I've ever had. I didn't meet anyone for a long time after that. Wow. That's fucking horrendous. This is the thing you have to be careful with nowadays. You don't know. You're meeting strangers that you really don't know about. You know, it's all about being careful online now, what you're looking for and how you're going to meet these people, especially for women. You know, you don't know what these guys are like. Some guys out there are fucking scumbags, and I've met a few of them, and they're fucking assholes. Obviously, not on dates. Well, just clarify that. But I know how women are treated online, and some of it's horrendous. Guys are fucking assholes at times, and it boils my blood when I find out that something like this has happened. You know, and I can imagine this is just a little snippet of stories and stuff online about dating that we've just went through today. But I can imagine there's probably a thousand stories that are 1,000 times worse than that one. Someone, I mean, I know I've seen the other day there that people have been. I was going to share it, but it was a bit disrespectful because the girl got killed because the guy was being he's a fucking crazy motherfucker, you know. And you have to be very, very careful when it comes down to stuff like this about how you can talk to people and make sure you speak to them first before you meet up with them and meet up with them in a public place. Don't sit there and come round to my house the first day. If you do that, oh God, don't, because you'll be fucking, you'll be bowed in the back garden before you know it. You know, there's people out there, even guys. This happens to guys as well. You know, don't women can be crazy too. You know, there's some I've dated a few of them. Whoa, there's a craziness out there. But as I say, it's just be careful online, guys. I know it's a new thing. It's not a new thing. I know it's a done thing now. If you want to meet someone, jump online and do it. But be careful out there. And always, and the thing is as well, when you're doing the online stuff, don't just jump at anyone who gives you the attention. This is the thing. Whenever someone gets a little bit, because you've gone through a breakup, you know, the first thing is you want to get your confidence back. Don't do the online sort of stuff first. Sit there and take some time out for yourself and discover what you want instead of trying to like replace that love that you just lost with someone else. Don't do the rebound. Take some time out. Discover you. Get yourself a hobby. You know, do what guys do. Go to the gym and just get buff. Get yourself a hobby. Play guitar. Start a podcast. Bitch and moan to your mates about it. You know, do something. Try to keep your mind away, but don't jump back into the saddle again because you're just going to repeat the circle all the time. That's it. You're just going to repeat the same thing over and over. And then you're going to go be in the same boat a year later with a few more scars after fucking being hurt again. And you're just going to go, what happened? Because you need to take time out. And it took me a long time to realize that. I did that last year. I split up from my ex-missus and I took a whole year and a half off of dating and speaking to people and doing all that sort of stuff because I didn't want to go in the same circle again. So, yeah, there's a little bit of insight knowledge from a guy who's been there, done it, and probably experienced it. And I've probably got a few more stories to tell. So, if you guys are up for it, I might do a part 3 to this. And here we go. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. A shorter one than normal, but hey, it's all fun and games. You had it. Dating horror stories. Be safe out there, guys. And if you like this episode, please share, like it, share it around your friends, tell people about it, try and get some more traction on here. All right, guys? All right. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Enjoy your June, July, August, whenever you listen to this. And I'll catch up with you in the next one. All right. Take care.